Hello friends. Today I am going to discuss about the topic called US National Security Strategy document. And it changed the way US wants to engage with other regions and other countries. Firstly, I want to talk about the difference between the old strategy and new strategy and how it wants to change that old strategy to suit new strategy. Firstly, the old strategy followed global domination. That means wherever the war happened, it wants to engage with those countries and wants to share their defense capabilities with those countries. And the US country taxpayers' money was wasted on this purpose. So now it wants to adapt a new strategy called primacy of nations. That means it only get into global affairs. It threatens the American culture, American economy, and American territory. And then the whole strategy followed nation building. That means it wants to engage with other countries in commercial relations by changing the democratic social change in those countries. But now it wants to strategy called flexible realism. It is based on the reality of the situations, whether that country is its ally or competitor or opposition. So it wants to be enter into this commercial or diplomatic relations without the change in the culture of those countries. And then previously it followed free riding laws. That means American taxpayers' money went to solve the disputes of those allies countries. Now it wants to change it to burden sharing. That means they have to make a commitment of 5% GDP into defense so that they can buy the high-tech American defense technologies. And then previously it followed climate change strategies and net zero strategies. Both were subsidizing the adversaries, those countries against to that US culture. Now it wants to dominate the energy sector. So it will be achieved through drill baby drill. That is mining oil, gas, nuclear minerals, so that it could become energy exporter. So it could gain balanced trade with other countries. And then previously it followed uncontrolled migration. Thus it's caused for the suffering of American middle class and American workers. But now it wants to cut the mass migration, and it will be achieved through border security, social media vetting, and border checks to check illegal migration. And then previously it followed diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. It excluded the white people in US. So now it wants to change it to meritocracy. Those skill based hiring practices in industries or academia, through removing that DEI policy. And then it followed globalism and free trade. Thus, deindustrialization happened. Industries went to other countries like China because of labor cost reduction and skilled individuals. Thus, now they want to dominate the economy. So, they are innovating in the AI and quantum computing by investing the billions of dollars into data center and chip manufacturing facility. And also it wants to preserve the global reserves of dollar. So the trading currency remains same, and forex reserves in other countries would include dollar also. And also it will help in reassuring the industries back to US. Thus, American workers get jobs. And also, it will be achieved through balanced trade, that is reciprocity. Tariff war between other countries. If they want to reduce those tariff, they have to invest in industries in US. And then it wants to achieve the superiority in the military sector. So they want to build Golden Dome, nuclear deterrent weapons, technologies. Now, let me talk about the US regional strategies. How it wants to solve the problems in those regions with respect to US. Firstly, let me talk about the Western Hemisphere. That is, it wants to cut the migration, wants to remove this drug cartel, and then it wants to isolate the strategic assets in this hemisphere from non-hemisphere countries. But exception includes. This is called Monroe Doctrine. And then in Asia, it wants to overmatch or rebalancing with China's aggression, with increase in the innovation, that is, increase in the patents or intellectual property, and also increase in the military strength in the region. And also, the interesting fact is, China's exports to US reduced from 4% to 2% in GDP compared to 2017 and 2025. And then we come to the Europe. Europe is facing a civilizational erosion, that is increasing migration and decreasing birth rate. So US wants to solve it. And also another interesting fact is Europe's share in global GDP reduced from 25% to 14% from 1990 to 2025. Then we come to the African continent. Previously, it was giving the free aid to those countries in African continent, but now it wants to change it to investment-focused relationship. So it gets tapped into the minerals and energy resources of the continent. Then in the Middle East, it has a friendly relationship with other countries except Iran, but it shut down the mouth of that country through Operation Midnight Hammer. Now, let me talk about the strategy of US with India. Firstly, we must know what US wants. It wants free and open Indo-Pacific region, because it does not want the toll collection from any countries in South China Sea, because 50% GDP in PPP comes from this Indo-Pacific region, and also 1/3 of trade is happening in South China Sea. So Indo-Pacific, it is very important. And then what US wants to do in future? It wants to deepen Quad group through balancing the economy and military strength. Mainly it is against China's dominance in tech and military. And also it wants to use the India's advantage in finance and technology for getting supply of critical minerals from Africa by forming coalition with India. And then it also wants to make joint cooperation with India in Western Hemisphere countries against non-hemispheric countries, because those are competitors or adversaries to the US. The US does not have any military aggression from neighborhood countries because it is surrounded by Mexico, Canada, and big seas. Thus, by this new strategy, it wants to preserve American families' culture, willpower, courage, and patriotism.